Okay, so hello, hi, namaskar, and a very good evening to all those who are connected here. I am Prashil Badwaik. I am a chemical engineering graduate from VNIT, and right now I am a PhD student at Chemical Engineering Department, IIT, Bombay. And I'm teaching students of chemical engineering who are in undergraduate for the subject chemical reaction engineering. I'm also uploading these videos on YouTube for those who are unable to attend the live classes and those who want to revise the syllabus again. So I'll request those who are new here, they can watch my previous class videos, and I'm also uploading the recent or the classes which I took last week. So I'll upload that videos and you can have a look at that. So here the syllabus which I took last week, that we are looking you will encounter frequently with this Thiele modulus. So what this Thiele modulus is, it is a quantity which is comparing your rate of mass transfer with rate of reaction. Okay, maybe you know the definition of what is heterogeneous reactions. Okay, heterogeneous is something where there are two phases, right? Two phases, or there is mass transfer limitation, right? Mass transfer limitation. So we are comparing which one is dominating over which, right? So whether rate of reaction is dominating or rate of diffusion is dominating, and that's why we are using this dimensionless parameter, that is Thiele modulus. Okay, so here it is characteristic length, and this K represent your reaction, this D represents your diffusivity. So all these things I explained in previous classes. Okay, so have a look at that. Then after that, I told you whenever there is mass transfer involving and we are using catalyst, so there is diffusion process involved. Okay, and there is, suppose this is catalyst, this has pores. So here A is a reactant, it will diffuse into this catalyst, right? It will diffuse into that catalyst. So what happens here, surface concentration, and as I move inside, there will be decrease in concentration of reactant, right? There will be decreasing concentration of reactant. So if there is pore diffusion resistance, then what is my rate? And if there is no pore diffusion, then what is my rate? And I'm just taking the ratio. Okay, so you can see here, when there is no pore diffusion, right, there is no resistance, so rate will be high. And when there is pore diffusion resistance, rate will be low. So you can see effectiveness factor is always lower than 1. Okay, lower than 1. So this is about effectiveness factor. And in Thiele modulus, I told you there are two regimes. One is Thiele modulus is lower than 0.4 and Thiele modulus is greater than 4. So if it is lower than zero point 0.4, then it is called weak pore diffusion resistance regime, right? That means pore diffusion resistance is weak. That's why your Thiele modulus is zero point 0.4. Here, the another region, that is your high pore diffusion resistance regime. That means your Thiele modulus is high. So we'll compare this. Okay. So you can see effectiveness factor. Just I have written here the definition. What is that effectiveness factor is, and based on that, I told you when there is pore diffusion resistance, I need to calculate average concentration, and I'll be having K observed into Ca bar. And if there is no pore diffusion resistance, I'll be having true value and there is concentration Ca. So everywhere inside I am going, concentration will Cas everywhere, right? So rate is maximum. Now you know, if I am keeping temperature constant, then your K is not changing, right? Because of your Arrhenius equation, you know, if temperature is constant, your rate constant is not changing. So if temperature is constant, I am just looking for how concentration is varying, right? I'm deleting this K term there, and I'm just looking how concentration is affecting your effectiveness. And we derived this formula tan H5 upon phi. This is also important for your semester exam. This generally asked to derive what is effectiveness factor for cylindrical catalyst, for flat plate catalyst. Okay, so this generally asked in exam. Then now next condition is, I am talking about phi, right? Thiele modulus, and there is temperature variation. Similar to Arrhenius equation, as my temperature is changing, there will be change in rate constant. There will be change in rate constant. Based on that concept, it has been proved that Delay modulus is also varying with temperature, and I have proved what is the formula. Okay, and this we proved like how Thiele modulus is varying with temperature. Suppose at one temperature, this is my Thiele modulus, and at next temperature, what is my Thiele modulus? And corresponding to this phi 2, you need to calculate what is your effectiveness. So this question has been asked in GATE, so we are going to solve that. Okay, then suppose if there is temperature changing, right? Temperature changing means what? There may be exothermic reaction, there may be endothermic reaction. So we are going to look at that. So whenever we are observing temperature change, whenever we are observing temperature change, we are keeping concentration as constant. This I already taught in homogeneous theory also. And whenever we are looking at concentration variation, we are keeping temperature constant. So these are two opposite. At one time we are keeping temperature constant, and one time we are keeping concentration constant. So this is, see, you can see here, if there is change in temperature, I am keeping concentration as constant, right? It is not varying. Okay, and here there is change in K because of change in temperature. So everyone knows in exothermic reaction there is evolution of heat. There is evolution of heat, generation of heat. That's why what will happen? If there is generation of heat, temperature of my system will increase, right? My temperature of system will increase, and because of that, I know if temperature will increase due to Arrhenius relation, we can also prove there will be change in K and there will be increase in K. As temperature will increase, there will be increase in K. Okay, so I am comparing this K observed and K true, where K observed is for with pore diffusion resistance and K true is without pore diffusion. Okay, now you know I told you when phi is greater than 4, that is your strong pore diffusion resistance regime, which is also called as high pore diffusion resistance regime. Okay, so at that condition, your effectiveness factor is inversely proportional to the phi, right? This I have already told you, and I also drawn one curve there that was telling you effectiveness factor with phi, and this kind of curve was there. Okay, so here it is 1 and it is continuously decreasing. Okay, so based on this high pore diffusion resistance regime, that is Thiele modulus greater than 4, there is inverse relation, right? Inverse relation. So if I substitute this value here, instead of this effectiveness factor, I'll write 1 by Thiele modulus. I can get this equation, right? Where KT is a K true value and Ku is your observed rate constant. Okay, so observed and true value. And I also told you what is your phi for nth order reaction, right? Now, if you substitute this phi here in previous equation, right? So you can get your relation between K, okay? And basically we are looking at how your activation energy is changing with respect to this phi, okay? So you can write here K true is equals to phi. Phi is what? This. If you substitute this, you will be having this equation. I am writing directly proportional. Okay, so n plus 1 divided by 2, then K by dE, and concentration I am keeping not changing, right? So not changing concentration, that's why I'll be having here this value only, and into what? Observed rate, right? K observed. Okay, now you know K observed will be your based on surface reaction. Okay, based on surface reaction, this I also explained you. Okay, so K observed, and this is your K. I'm writing here K is based on your volume of reaction mixture, and K dash, right? Dash was there, right? Dash or double dash? Double dash it was. It was based on surface area. And you know the relation between two. What is that relation? K is equal to 2K double dash divided by R. Okay, 2K double dash divided by R. Now please convert this K into K double dash term. K double dash term. Okay, and write down this K as K naught e to the power minus E true divided by RT, and this K observed as K naught e to the power minus E observed divided by RT. and this k everywhere is double dash, double dash. And please tell me what will be the relation, or you can see if you compare these two side, what can you get? Just we are solving gate questions this time. That's why I'm revising this all, so that there will be easiness while solving that question. Okay. If you compare, you will get here k naught e to the power minus e a. Please ignore this noise. Okay, activation energy observed divided by RT is equals to K double dash true wala, right? True here. And instead of that, you can replace the values. Anyone getting equation? 1 by LC, then in bracket or in square root, I'm having R by N plus 1. Okay. And then diffusivity, and there will be K double dash. So there will be diffusivity term divided by K, and you are replacing this as 2K double dash divided by R, and there will be K double dash here. Okay. Then if you take this diffusivity out of, so you will be having diffusivity to the power half, and this K, if you are taking outside, then K to the power 1 minus K to the power half. So you will be having K double dash to the power half, right? And here you will be having K double dash directly proportional to the d into K to the power half. Are you getting this? Anyone? Please raise your hand if you are getting. Should I do this derivation? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So I'm writing, okay. Till this you know relation, right? Observed and this. So any difficulty in getting this equation? Equation 1,
No, sir.
No, sir.
right? So K observed and K true I am comparing, okay. So K observed is directly proportional to what I'm getting here? K true divided by phi, right? K true divided by phi. Now you substitute the value of phi. So it will be your K true, and both are double dash, okay. So I'm writing here double dash, here also double dash, okay. Then what is value of phi? Phi is 1 by LC. So phi is here I'm writing n plus 1 by 2 K by DE Ca to the power n minus 1, and then LC is multiplied outside, okay. Then if you write 1 by that, then you will be having this equation, right? exactly inverse, or I'll say numerator denominator will be exchanged. So 2d here, n plus 1 k, and ca to the power n minus 1, right? Then, so here k observed double dash is directly proportional to, I'm just writing terms, right? de divided by k and into k double dash. Okay, now this k double dash, k dash is equal, k is equal to 2k double dash divided by r. So this we have proved. Okay, this we have proved. Just you need to take minus ra into volume is equal to minus ra double dash into surface area. Okay, this, now substitute this here. So we'll be having k double dash observed is directly proportional to square root of de divided by 2k double dash, here r is there, and here k double dash. Now you just combine k double dash here, and by the way k double dash is k double dash 2. So k observed double dash is directly proportional to de to the power half and dotted with k double dash to the power 1, and this is in square root, so it is minus half. So we'll be having this de into k double dash 2 to the power half is equal to k observed. Are you getting this? Should I go ahead?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
using Arrhenius equation, you'll be having k naught 1, you can say, e to the power minus e observed divided by rt, and it is directly proportional to diffusivity. I'm also writing in terms of Arrhenius equation. So de naught e to the power minus e d divided by rt, okay, into k naught 2 e to the power minus ea divided by rt, and this whole will be to the power half, that is square root. Okay, now if you do this indices rule, then you will be having e to the power minus ed divided by, directly I'm writing, I hope you are getting this. Okay, 2rt minus of e a divided by twice rt, and here you are having e to the power e observed divided by rt. Now just compare the powers of e, right? So you may find here e observed is directly proportional to minus of ed plus ea divided by rt, and I have already explained e diffusion is very low as compared to ea, that is your activation energy for reaction, right? Suppose this is 50 kilojoules, then it is around 5 kilojoule, or maybe lower than that, 5 joules you can say. Okay, so you will be having this relation as minus sign is here, your e observed e is equals to e activation energy here, it is 2 divided by 2, right? What is happening here, your activation energy is dividing by 2, that means your activation energy is half of what is your the required, right? So here observed is, this is what happens in general case, or I'll say reality, you can say, when you carry out reaction, and this is what based on kinetics or ideal. Okay, so you can see when I am conducting this reaction and there is efficiency inversely proportional to phi. So what is this region is what, this condition I derived, this is applicable for
Hypo diffusion.
high pore diffusion resistance, right? Not for weak. Okay, just keep in mind. So in high pore diffusion resistance regime, right? High pore diffusion resistance regime, your activation energy, right, becomes half. अभी मुझे बताओ, if your activation energy is decreased, तो rate of reaction क्या होगा?
Increase.
Increase, right? So rate of reaction will increase. Rate of reaction will increase. So this is the high pore diffusion resistance regime. Okay. Now you may be confused ki there is high pore diffusion resistance regime and your rate of reaction is high, right? So for reaction, you can say there should be strong diffusion, then your rate of reaction will be high, right? So I told you we are comparing two quantities. One is mass transfer and rate of reaction. Rate of reaction, we are comparing these two. Now if I'm writing two values, high pore diffusion resistance regime and weak pore diffusion resistance regime, right? Here Thiele modulus is greater than 4, Thiele modulus is here less than 0.4, and you know Thiele modulus is directly proportional to the rate of reaction divided by rate of diffusion. Okay, अभी मुझे बताओ, if Thiele modulus is high, then which one of the two quantities will be high? Rate of reaction or diffusion?
Rate of reaction.
Rate of
Right.
reaction.
And what we proved here, rate of reaction is high, right? High. And here rate of reaction will be low. You can say rate is low. Rate of reaction is low. Okay. Then I also told you, since it is inversely proportional to rate of diffusion, so Thiele modulus will be directly proportional to resistance to diffusion, right? It is inversely proportional to the rate of diffusion, so it is directly proportional to the resistance to diffusion. Now please tell me, if your Thiele modulus is high, that means resistance to mass transfer is
High.
right. So you write resistance to mass transfer is high. Abhi resistance is high, then next term will be your rate of mass transfer will be low. You can write opposite point here, right? Next point is, this is I'm repeating, okay? This I already told, but I'm repeating. Suppose if there is high pore diffusion resistance regime, means Thiele modulus is high, your resistance to mass transfer is high. That means concentration will decrease as I am moving inside the catalyst. Okay. So I need to take average concentration here. I need to take average concentration here. Okay. Means suppose this is your catalyst. Okay. This is your pore size. Okay. Pore size, and this is your particle size. This length is your particle size. Okay. And in Thiele modulus, you know, it is K by DE into LC. So if Thiele modulus is high, then characteristic length, this LC will be high, right?
High.
So your LC, that is characteristic length, is high. That means I can say particle size is high. Particle size is high. Okay, particle size, not pore size. Then next thing, if there is diffusion to mass transfer, that means your concentration is decreasing. That I told you concentration is decreasing. That means your pore size is small. That's why that reactant is not able to move inside your pore, right? Suppose if pore size is low, pore size is small. Okay, if size is small, then it cannot diffuse inside easily. Okay, that's why your mass transfer is low. Mass transfer rate is low. So I'm writing here pore size is less, or you can say low. Anything is fine. Okay, so pore size and particle size, don't confuse between that. Okay, particle size is related to characteristic length and pore size is related to your diffusion rate. Particle size and pore size. Are you guys clear with this? Should I move?
Yes, sir.
So I
Sir,
guess
once
I
can
covered.
you repeat pore size?
Okay. See, this is your catalyst. This is your catalyst. Any shape. Suppose you can consider normal potato as your catalyst. Okay. Any catalyst. Suppose this is your potato and this has pore, right? And here it is water. Water is moving. Now if you tell me, suppose this is your pore size, this is your pore size, this is your pore size, and whenever I'm drawing this length inside, this green one is your particle size or characteristic length, or I may say it is length of pore. So you can say length of pore or particle size, or you may say it as characteristic length. Green one is right. Abhi, please tell me, suppose this pore is small, so water can diffuse inside easily, or if pore size is more, then it can diffuse,
Pore size more than it can diffuse.
right? So what I have written here, if there is resistance to mass transfer is high, right? That means this water is not able to move inside. It is not able to go inside because your pore size is low, right? Your pore size is low and your resistance to mass transfer is high, right? Means directly if I want to tell, I can tell if size of pore is small, then water cannot penetrate inside and there will be resistance to mass transfer because of that small pore size. Okay, so that's about your pore size. Suppose if there is high pore diffusion resistance regime, that means resistance to mass transfer is high, and if resistance to mass transfer is high, that means your size of pore is low. So these are corresponding statements only. Okay, and if there is high pore diffusion resistance regime, so Thiele modulus is high, and that's why your LC will be high, right? Because in definition of Thiele modulus there is characteristic length. So whenever I'm telling if phi is high, then your characteristic length is high. That means particle size is high. I hope you are clear with this now.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's all about your this. And even we compare, rate of reaction is high in case of high pore diffusion resistance regime because your activation energy becomes half, right? Activation energy becomes half. What's remain? Okay, so for exothermic reaction, I told you temperature will increase, and that's why your rate constant will increase. Rate constant will increase. That means you will be having high effectiveness. Effectiveness will be high. That means you are getting higher conversion, I can say in simple words. Okay, so this is about exothermic. What about endothermic? There will be decrease in temperature. Temperature decrease hoga to your K will decrease. K will decrease. That means your effectiveness factor will decrease. Okay, so this is just a brief introduction about this. If you want to read more about this exothermic and endothermic behavior, you are open to read that book, Octave Levensfield. Okay, everything is mentioned there. So you can see as I'm increasing the temperature, my effectiveness factor is increasing, right? So can you please tell me, I have a catalyst and suppose I want high rate. Should I increase the temperature continuously? Should I increase the temperature continuously to have high rate? Anyone? क्योंकि टेम्परेचर बढ़ाने से मुझे तो फायदा ही हो रहा है, मेरा रेट ऑफ रिएक्शन बढ़ रहा है. Any guess? Whether it is right or wrong, don't worry about
Sir,
that. Okay.
can you repeat the question again?
See, what I'm telling is, suppose you have exothermic reaction, so temperature of system or temperature of reactor will increase, and temperature increase hoga. So based on Arrhenius equation, you know, if temperature increases, your rate of reaction increases. That means your rate constant increases. Okay. So मुझे बताओ, suppose I want high rate of reaction and I have a reaction and there is catalyst. Okay. And as I am increasing the temperature, my rate of reaction is increasing. So should I increase the temperature again and again to have high rate, to get high rate? Or should there be a permissible limit?
There should be limit.
There should be a limit, I guess.
Yes, there should be limit. Any case, anyone want to tell something why there is limit? Because ultimately my aim is to get more rate of reaction. Okay. So if I'm increasing the temperature, I'm getting high rate.
Sir, but mass
Catalytic,
transfer may not be favorable, sir, in high temperature.
Yes, that may be the case. Any other case?
cracking.
Cracking, yes, that is the reason. Maybe you can say the reason what you told is correct. First one is mass transfer should be favorable. Suppose there is mass transfer and this mass transfer is decreased by increasing temperature, then we cannot go for that because we want steady state. Then only we will be having high rate. Okay, then only we will be having high rate. So suppose I'm increasing the temperature, there might be the case where जहाँ पे your catalyst cracking will be there, right? Catalyst cracking or catalyst may not withstand at higher temperature, right? So you can say catalyst may not be stable at high temperature. It is temperature sensitive, you can say. So in that case, you cannot increase your temperature beyond a limit. Okay. Not stable means you can say catalyst is temperature sensitive. And I am repeating again, your rate of mass transfer should be equal to, or maybe it is equivalent to, your rate of reaction. Then only you will be having high overall rate. Okay, because your K overall is equals to 1 by K mass transfer divided by 1 by K this rate of reaction. Okay, even if I am saying suppose there is a child, right, उसको खाना खाना है suppose, ठीक है? I'm just telling an example. So your aim is to give that boy maximum amount of energy, you can say, or ज़्यादा खाना खिलाना है बस. That is your aim. Okay. So suppose this is the mouth of the child. Okay. And you are putting this much amount of food. Okay. So what that guy will do? That will take up to this amount, whatever possible by that. Okay. So it will not eat completely, right? So this is just an example कि suppose देने वाला भी हो जितना दे रहा है. Suppose if someone is giving, there must be someone who is accepting that. Okay, otherwise that will be an accumulation, right? Suppose if you are giving this much of food and mouth size is this, so other than this will be your accumulation, right? This will be your accumulation. So that's why you can say both the mass transfer and reaction should go hand in hand, and there must be equality between these two. Okay, so that was just I wanted to convey here. Okay, so we are done with this. Now we'll move on to reaction, right? We'll move on to reaction. I also told you one point: high pore diffusion resistance regime and weak pore diffusion resistance regime. Okay, high pore में क्या बताया था मैंने? Suppose I am having particle 1 with size suppose 9 mm, catalyst size or catalyst diameter, and second particle or second catalyst with diameter 19 mm. Okay, so you can see there is change in size of catalyst, size of particle. Because of that, there will be change in rate. You just write change in rate. Okay, catalyst size change karne se, if there is change in rate, then it belongs to your high pore diffusion resistance. Okay, and if there is no change in rate, if it is constant, okay, then it is your weak pore diffusion resistance. So this kind of questions are asked in your semester exams and in GATE also. Okay, we'll look after that. Now, design of reactor, you can see. This is just brief introduction. Design of reactor. Okay, design of reactor. This is your MFR for heterogeneous reaction. You will be having catalyst here, and there is continuous inlet and outlet. Okay, in and out. So this is your concentration of A that is coming. This is your concentration of A inside, and this is your outlet concentration. So this is just a design of MFR for your heterogeneous reaction where there is involvement of catalyst. तो homogeneous के लिए क्या पढ़ा था हमने? Similar equations are here, right? क्या था homogeneous का formula? V divided by Fa naught is equals to Xa divided by minus Ra at exit, right? Exit. Should I integrate it?
No, sir.
Why?
No, sir. Concentration is same in inside and outside.
Right. That's why I'm not integrating it. I'm not taking a small portion or small differential volume, then again integrating it over the length. Okay. So this is my case. And here, what I told you there, I'm defining my rate based on volume of reaction mixture or volume of reactor, you can say. Volume of reaction mixture is always better than volume of reactor, right? So this rate will be based on volume of reaction mixture. So I'll write here dash. Wait. It should not be dash. It is as it is. Okay. But whenever I'm writing based on surface area, I'll be having double dash. And whenever I'm writing based on weight of catalyst, I'll be having dash. So there are nomenclature. You just follow any one, or there is no need to follow. But standard definition is there for different rates. Okay. Now I want to convert this equation into weight of catalyst. Can you measure surface area of catalyst? Surface area of catalyst. Or is it easy to measure weight of catalyst?
Weight of
Weight
catalyst.
of catalyst.
Okay, so it is feasible to measure weight of catalyst. That's why I'm converting this equation into weight of catalyst. So what will be change? Suppose if I'm writing volume of reaction mixture as it is minus Ra, then weight of catalyst as minus Ra dash, then volume and surface area. Surface area I'm writing as double dash. Okay, just I need to change this sign only. Okay, based on what factor I am defining the rate. Okay, so here if you change this, what will be that? W divided by Fa naught is equals to Xa divided by minus Ra at exit. And what should I write here? I need to change rate, right? So there will be change in this double this dash. Okay, so this is just a way of representation. Then you can have your relation as minus Ra dash into weight of catalyst is equal to minus Ra into volume of reaction mixture, right? So that's only. This is, now you can convert anything, and this is equivalent to dna by dt, right? From first class we are writing this. Okay, so you can have interconversions between two. Now suppose if I want to replace this in terms of minus ra, I can replace by how? W divided by f naught is equals to xa divided by minus ra into volume divided by weight. Volume divided by weight. So this is volume of reaction mixture, and this is your weight of catalyst. So you can change you can change that. Okay. So this was about your MFR. Okay. First you write MFR. There is no change. Just you are changing the suitable one measurement, or I may say here weight of catalyst would be a better way to represent my rate. Okay, that is easy to measure also. Then there is PFR. Suppose PFR here in non-ideal, or I am saying heterogeneous, you are writing it as packed bed reactor. Packed bed reactor as a PFR, because you are having this bed, and in here it is catalyst. Your stream is coming and stream is going out. Okay, so you can write in, you can write out. You may write as this as your bed of catalyst, and through which your reactant A is passing and it's coming out. Okay, so this is your design of PFR. For detail, I'll suggest to go for homogeneous portion, and there we actually derived, and here I'm just interconverting that formulas. Okay, so what was my design formula for PFR? Design equation: V divided by F naught is equals to, what is that?
Integration of XA by minus R.
Right, dxa divided by minus ra. Dxa divided by minus ra. Suppose if I want to convert it into weight of catalyst, so you have this relation, right? You have this relation. Based on that, you can write W divided by Fa naught is equal to integration 0 to xa dxa divided by minus ra. Minus ra. Right? And here I need to replace this by dash. Okay? Because suppose if I am in exam, suppose I am telling you rate based on volume of reaction mixture. So you cannot directly substitute here. You need to convert using this formula. Using this formula, equation number X I am writing. Using this, you need to replace, and then you will get the answer. Okay, otherwise you will be having a wrong answer. Okay, please be careful while this. Whenever I'm writing W, you need to write double dash. It is dash. Okay, whatever symbol it is, but you need to mention. Suppose I'm dash is here, dash is for surface area, or dash is for weight. Just you need to tell. Okay, even I can write here dxa divided by minus ra, and I'm just mentioning here it is based on weight of catalyst. That is also fine. Okay, so this is your relation. Okay, and these formulas are important. Already question has been asked on this. Then recycle packed bed reactor. Recycle packed bed reactor, right? Recycle packed bed reactor. So here design equation would be V by Fa naught. We already saw this, R plus 1 integration R upon R plus 1 into X naught 2X naught divided into dxa divided by minus Ra. So this is my equation when I'm taking homogeneous reaction. Okay. And how we derive this formula? We did already, okay, in homogeneous CRE. Now in case of heterogeneous, you will be having replacement by weight. So W divided by Fa naught is equal to R plus 1. Here it is same, r upon r plus 1 into x naught to x naught dx divided by minus r a, and it is dash. Dash is for width. So if you want to see how this recycled packed bed reactor looks, maybe I can show you. So wait, where is that? Chapter number, I guess it is 18 or okay. So this you can see here. This reactor, here you can say there is fluid in coming in into the system. This fluid is coming in into the system from this side. Okay, and this is going out, and this is your catalyst reactor. Okay, so you can see his this small portion has been recycled there. Small portion has been recycled using this recycled pump. Okay, so catalyst bed is here. You can have this system also, where you can see this is your reaction mixture, and there will be catalyst bed separated, right? Catalyst bed separated. So what is happening here is this, I am circulating from this pump. Okay, circulating from this pump, and there is continuous recirculation, you can say. Okay, recirculation is there. When it passes through this catalyst bed, there will be conversion, and this is again coming into your fluid system. So this you are doing n times, and then you will be having a higher conversion. Okay, so you can see equation is same as it is, just there is replacement by w. Okay, and it has also explained you what is your relation between minus ra dash and minus ra. One is on volume of reaction mixture, one is on weight of catalyst. Then we have seen this desired undesired, how it is affecting. Okay, so done. Now I may say here this heterogeneous CR is over, except for a single topic, that is I am telling you how your adsorption, reaction, and desorption. Okay, 3 steps are there out of 7. 7 step I told you, external diffusion, internal diffusion, then adsorption, reaction, desorption, and then external, reverse external diffusion. Out of this 2, I will cover adsorption, reaction, and desorption. Okay, so these 3 are important, and on which there is a portion on gate. Okay, for 2 marks the question has been asked, so I'll cover these 3, sorry. Okay, so please take out your gate previous year questions. We'll start with, okay, so if you know, in gate 2020 the question has been asked that was for Thiele modulus, and it has asked Thiele modulus is directly proportional to what. So in terms of time, it has asked time for and time for. I also told you this question previously. Okay, so Thiele modulus is directly proportional to rate of reaction divided by your rate of diffusion. Okay, so in terms of time, what will be that? Anyone would like to comment?
Diffusion rate by reaction, sir.
Right, because if your rate is high, then time will be low, right? Time required will be lower if your rate is high. So it will be opposite of that. So you'll be having diffusion rate. It is diffusion divided by reaction. Okay. Suppose if I'm writing in terms of resistance, then rate is inversely proportional to resistance. So you'll be having diffusion upon reaction. So these are basic question for 1 mark. Now GATE 2019 question, for a spherical catalyst it has asked. The same question has been asked in GATE 2000. So that was repetition. I told you the cases and based on that you need to answer. Okay. For a spherical catalyst, diffusional effect, please write this, diffusional effect are more likely to affect the overall rate of reaction, for, and you will be given options such as high pore diffusion resistance regime, weak pore diffusion resistance regime. Maybe I can give you as size of catalyst. Maybe I can tell you as size of pore. Maybe I can ask for rate of mass transfer. Corresponding there will be rate हो गया, तो there will be resistance, mass transfer. I can ask in terms of rate of reaction or resistance to reaction, and then what remain, size of pore, size of catalyst is done. Okay, this much only. Okay, so you read this sentence and tell me whether it will be high pore or weak pore. Out of this two only, and based on this only you will be having these conditions, right? So diffusional effects are decreasing your overall rate, right? This is the meaning of sentence. Overall rate is decreasing.
Weak pore, sir.
Weak pore, is it? Diffusional effects are more likely to lower the overall rate of reaction.
Yes, sir. Weak pore.
How?
Sir, the reaction rate is lower in weak pore.
It is not reaction rate, it is overall rate. K overall is equal to 1 by Km plus 1 by K double dash. Remember, so this is overall. It is showing diffusional effects, that is because of pore diffusion, there will be decrease in overall rate. That means there is resistance, there is strong diffusion resistance, right? Overall rate is decreasing because of your mass transfer resistance, right? So when mass transfer resistance will be high
Pore diffusion.
Yes, so this is your high pore diffusion resistance regime. And question has been asked and वहां पे पूछा था, what is your pore size? Where is pore size? This is pore size. You need to tell whether this is low, high, anything, less. High pore diffusion, that means वहां पे क्या हो रहा है, diffusion को diffusion resistance is very high. That means your reactant is not able to move inside. That means your size of pore is, just imagine, size of pore is
High.
pore size, not particle size.
Small.
See what happens. Suppose there is high resistance to mass transfer, right? High pore diffusion resistance means high resistance to mass transfer. That means there is no proper diffusion. That means resistance is high. That means your reactant is not able to move inside. That means not able to move inside means size of pore is small. That's why it is not able to go inside. Okay. So size of pore is small. This was asked in 2000. Yes, it was in 2000. And one question was asked for rate of reaction. Okay. So based on this, you can tell which one is for rate of reaction. So high pore diffusion, resistance regime. That means your phi is greater than 4. And I told you when phi is greater than 4, you will be having EA divided by 2. So your rate will increase. The rate of reaction is high. So option was given fast reaction. I'm just telling you concepts based on you or based on which you can have multiple options. Okay. Clear with this? And whenever there is size of catalyst is asking, you please go for characteristic length. Size of catalyst. That means it is asking your LC characteristic length and which is directly proportional to Thiele modulus. This is one case. Second is pore size of pore. If size of pore is small, then there will be resistance to diffusion. Resistance to diffusion. That means I can say high diffusion resistance regime. So your phi is greater than 4, right? That's all. So I think this would be a bit difficult to understand because there are lots of terms here. But as you revise it continuously, you will be what can I say? That will be easier for you to solve these questions. Okay. Next, GATE 2017. Please open the question, which was asked for. What is the definition of Thiele modulus? GATE 2017. They have given you R is a characteristic length. I have uploaded this on group. Wait, I'll go there. So see, I'm doing here this. You solve this, then you solve this. These are easy. Then okay. So you may see this. Can you please tell me for solid catalyzed reaction, the one which I mark, GATE 2009, Thiele modulus. Thiele modulus is directly proportional to intrinsic rate of reaction divided by diffusion rate. Because you know MT is directly proportional to K by D. So it will be intrinsic rate of reaction. Just name is changed. That is, instead of reaction rate, he has asked intrinsic reaction rate. Intrinsic reaction rate divided by diffusion rate, right? Then in one question it was asked overall rate of reaction. Overall rate of reaction is, you know, GATE 2011, 1 by K overall is equal to 1 by Km plus 1 by K double dash. You can arrange and calculate KO. So this has been asked. You can convert into this Km K double dash divided by Km plus K double dash. Then next question is So easier you can solve. Okay, now you just open 2015 question. It has been asked to find out effectiveness factor, and your Thiele modulus is changing. Okay, please read that question if someone is getting. This question. Anyone is having this question? So you have been given GATE 2015. Okay, GATE 2015. If I write now, it will take time. That's why I'm asking. So you are having catalyst slab, okay, with half thickness. Half thickness is L by 2. It is L. Catalyst thickness is L. Half thickness is L. And it is written width and length of slab is very, very low as compared to your length. Then it's given 5.
Yes, sir. I have question with me.
Okay, can you please read that?
Yes, sir. A catalyst slab of half thickness L, the width and length of slab is greater than L, is
Yes.
used to conduct the first order reaction A gives rise to B at
Yes.
450 Kelvin. The Thiele modulus of the system is 0.5.
Yes, okay.
The activation energy for the first order rate constant is 100 kilojoule per mole.
Yes.
The effective diffusivity of the reactant in the slab can be assumed to be independent of temperature, and external mass resistance can be neglected.
Okay, yes. So external is not there.
If
External
the temperature of react,
yes, you can read.
If the temperature of reaction is increased to 470 Kelvin, then the effectiveness factors at 470 Kelvin will be.
How can you calculate now? You have the parameters with you. You need to calculate effectiveness factor at 470. Okay, so you just change this notation. Okay, so there is change in temperature. You can see there is change in temperature, and because of change in temperature there will be change in phi. Okay, and if phi is changing, your effectiveness factor will change, and that's the overall reason here. And even it is told your ED is independent of temperature, so you don't need to take care about ED. Even external mass transfer is not there, you don't need to consider that. So your formula will be ln of phi 2 by phi 1 is equals to EA divided by you tell 1 by T1 minus 1 by T2, and temperature is in Kelvin, twice R. Okay, please don't forget to write this 2 here, otherwise that will be your rate constant only. Okay, for 2 marks I guess it was asked. Can you guys please calculate? You know activation energy, you know R, you know temperature 1, you know temperature 2. Phi is also given. What is phi 2? Calculate that. And what is written there? You are having catalyst slab. For catalyst slab, what is the formula for effectiveness?
Tan
H
H
by
M
2
L
by
by M1.
Tan H phi upon phi, right? Please
Yes.
keep this in mind. Okay, maybe they asked next year to have cylindrical catalyst, so your formula will be same. But in case of what? Spherical catalyst, what is formula for effectiveness factor? It
1
is,
by 5 into
yes,
1 by tan 3 phi minus 1 by 3 phi.
right? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you can solve for this. Okay, now please tell me if someone is calculating phi 2 and based on that what is your effectiveness factor. Okay, I guess everyone understood what is the concept here. Then this is done. Gate 2013. Gate 2013. Okay. Question 98 it is written. I'm writing question. Okay. You solve that. Then we'll move on to this. Okay. Overall rate of isothermal catalytic reaction using spherical catalyst. Spherical catalyst. And diameter is 1 and 2 mm for RA1 and RA2. So RA1 is a rate, RA2 is a rate, and here rate is 2. Diameter is 1 mm and 2 mm. 1 mm. This diameter is 2 mm. Physical properties of both the catalyst are same. Means we are not changing catalyst other properties. So you need to calculate RA2 divided by RA1. And it is mentioned, please careful, pore diffusion resistance is very high. So I am writing two cases. Pore diffusion resistance is very high. Second is pore diffusion resistance is low. So this was gate 13 and this may be your gate 2022.
Sir, for first case it is 0.5. For second
Yes.
case it is constant, sir.
Right? How?
Sir, for because pore diffusion resistance is very high, then it is high pore diffusion.
Yes.
Then R2 by R1 is equals to, I mean to say, inversely proportional to D2 by D1. D1 by
right. D1 by
Yes.
D2. So I am writing here R2 by R1. So it is D2 by D1. So it is 0.5. Maybe be careful about this. Okay. They may ask you about RA1 by RA2. So it will be D2 upon D2 upon D1. And here it has been asked for RA2 by RA1. So it will be your D1 by D2. Okay. So based on that only your answer will be there. Okay. Otherwise, suppose if you make mistake and it has been asked to calculate RA1 by RA2 and you are calculating for RA2 by RA1, so that may be a problem. And that was numerical answer type. Okay. This is numerical answer. You need to type 0.5, 1, 2 as it is. For second case, it is weak pore diffusion resistance regime. So that is as it is. That is not changing. Your rate is same as earlier. So that will be 1, you can say. By the way, do you got answer for this previous question?
Sir, phi 2 is equals to 0.88.
0.88 and then
Effectiveness factor 0.38.
0.38. Effectiveness factor. It is tan H 5 upon 5. So in your calculator it is there, or in GATE calculator also hyperbolic functions are there. So if you calculate that, you will find.
Sir, 0.8, sir.
0.8, right? So this is your answer. Then we will move to next question, that is this, you know, GATE 2011 is done. Then GATE 2010, it was asked for, I'm just writing, okay, GATE 2010, you know the concept. For isothermal reaction, first order reaction, isothermal case, okay, and infinitely long cylindrical pore is given, whatever, and it's been asked what is your relation for strong pore diffusion resistance regime between effectiveness and phi. So you know this relation. So this type of questions generally ask for 1 mark, okay, and that are, you may say, that are scoring 1, so don't lose your marks there, right? And you, if you know the concepts, you'll get that. Done with this, then we will go. Now let's take this example. GATE 2016, 2 marks. Porous pellet with platinum disperse. Question number 123. I'm just 3. This question, okay? Anyone can read that? GATE 2016. You will be given a porous pellet with, porous pellet means porous catalyst you consider. Porous pellet is given, and platinum is dispersed here. Platinum is dispersed to carry out a catalytic reaction. Following two scenarios are possible, right? There are 2 scenarios it is saying. One is platinum is present throughout pores. Platinum is present throughout pores. So you can consider here platinum is your substance, or it is reactant, and this is porous pellet is your catalyst, and platinum is present throughout the pore. And second case is platinum is only in the immediate vicinity of external surface. You can write here only at immediate vicinity. Of external surface. I'm just explaining here, right? This is your catalyst, that is pellet. Here it is saying in second case it is platinum is present only to the external surface, that is external vicinity, and second is platinum is present throughout pores. I can draw like this, okay? So if you have attended all classes for heterogeneous, then you can answer this. And it is asked for large value of Thiele modulus. Large value of, I'm writing large Thiele modulus. Okay. For large Thiele modulus, there are options given. Okay. So option B is correct because I marked there. Now please tell me why that is.
Sir, as phi is high, rate of reaction will be high.
Yes.
So rate of reaction is high means diffusion will be less. So
Less.
diffusion less means scenario 2 will be possible.
Will be there, right? Okay, so that is your answer. And in other case, the conditions are given as different, right? Different conditions are given. Much lower, and for greater, there are two conditions, and it's asked. It has been asked which scenario is preferable. Okay, so you said you will be having high rate, that's why you are preferring second option. Okay, but there is one option again, option A, that is also saying rate of reaction is much greater. So if rate of reaction is high, that means you will be having CAS, that is surface concentration throughout. So if you are having CAS everywhere, then you will be having high rate. That's why your scenario 1 is there. Scenario 2, but option is your this B. Option B, that is rate of reaction is much greater and scenario 2 occurs. Suppose if I am saying scenario 1, that is platinum is present throughout the pore. So you may say here throughout pore it is, then there will be decrease in concentration for large phi, right? Large phi. So in order to have high rate, you need to go for this scenario, that is option number 2. Then solve this question, GATE 2007. Mixed flow reactor is given. A gives R. Okay, A gives R. Find the role played by pore diffusion. Find role played by pore diffusion. Ca naught is given as 100. W is what? Weight of catalyst, that is fixed. Agitation effects are neglected. Agitation effects. This agitation effect you may consider as external pore diffusion. And most of the cases you have seen here in questions, they are telling external pore diffusion is neglected. That means agitation effect here, it is neglected. And you will be given data, dp is 4, then diameter of particle is 6, fa naught is 2, then it is 4, xa is 0.8 and xa is 0.4. Now you need to tell whether it is strong pore diffusion, diffusion free, means there is no diffusion, it is third. Diffusion means internal diffusion. Then X intermediate role, and fourth one is external mass transfer. So by the way, external mass transfer is not there because agitation effect is neglected. Now you need to compare this and you need to tell what is the condition. Let me check if it is here. Yes, this question. See, strong pore diffusion, first option. Second is diffusion free. Third is intermediate role play by pore diffusion, then external mass transfer. 2 marks question, 2007. What I told you, when there is change in size of catalyst, right? Ra1 divided by Ra2 I'm taking. And if there is change in that value, then it is strong pore, right? And if it is not changing, then it is weak pore, right? Ra1 by Ra2. Now we need to find out rate, not your conversion. Suppose if other data is not given and only conversion is given, only conversion I am repeating, then you can directly compare. See, as your particle size is increasing, your rate is also changing, right? But here all other parameters are also given. So at that time, you cannot directly take conversion as a parameter to distinguish. Okay, you need to find out rate in 1 and rate in 2. How can you calculate for MFR? It is written, so you need to use formula for MFR in case of heterogeneous reaction. What will be my starting then?
W by Fa naught is equals to X2 by minus Ra dash.
Minus Ra dash. Okay. Now you just take 1 and 2 rate. Okay. And you have given this, you have been given this values. You calculate minus Ra1 divided by minus Ra2, and this is dash dash. So you need to find out XA divided by XA into Fa naught divided by W, first case. Second is XA divided by Fa naught into W divided by W, second case. Now please tell, what is Ra1 divided by Ra2?
Sir, it's constant, sir.
1.
1, right? You will find this 80% 2, and this is your W, and they're divided by 40% 4 into this quantity. So you will be having 1, right? You can see by changing your particle size, by changing your parameters, there is no change in rate. No change in rate. So what could I say there? Weak pore diffusion resistance,
Yes, sir.
right? Weak pore. So which option will be there then?
Diffusion free.
Any other guess?
Sir, option 3 may be intermediate rule.
Intermediate. Okay. So we can find out as, suppose your minus Ra is independent of diameter. That means it is independent of particle size, right? Then there is weak pore diffusion. So your phi is less than 0.4. Okay. Phi is less than 0.4. That means your resistance to mass transfer is low. That means rate of mass transfer is high, right? So first will not be there. Then external mass transfer is not there. So you will be having either of these two, intermediate role or this. So diffusion free, exactly what I mean is, okay. So see, what is that? Here you will be having weak pore diffusion resistance regime. That means you don't need to care about your diffusion, right? You don't need to care about mass transfer because it is not affecting. I'm writing mass transfer is not affecting the rate. That means it is diffusion free. So option 2 is correct. Diffusion free. Even I was not having this answer. Okay. So your option B will be correct. Please cross check. Okay. Diffusion free. Next is GATE 2000. You open GATE 2008 question. GATE 2008, irreversible reaction is given. A gives B. By the way, are all of you there in group? So that I don't need to write then.
Yes, sir. All are there.
Okay, so GATE 2008 you open. Yes, the one which is there with the diagram. 63 for 2 marks. Okay, GATE 2008. So I'll tell you first summary here. See, suppose this is your catalyst size and this is your reactant A. This is your catalyst. What this reactant will do? Either it will it will react with that catalyst, or you may say that catalyst is helping to have high rate. So as time increases, as there is progress, your catalyst surface become deactive. So this is your size. So I may write in next image, this is your size. Okay, so your actual active catalyst will be this. Then again, as time passes here, you will be having again decrease in size of catalyst. So your actual catalyst is this. So here it is this your actual catalyst. This is your actual catalyst, and here it is catalyst. So you can see as reaction proceeds, there will be decrease in your active area. Okay, and I told you your surface concentration is CAS, and as I move inside, concentration is decreasing. Okay, so can you please tell me in terms of not reactant concentration, but in terms of catalyst concentration? Okay, initially catalyst is all active all around, right? So your uh, concentration everywhere is C active, right? C active I'm writing. As time passes, your C active will be here. Here there will be C deactive, right? C active will be at center or up to the surface, and there will be deactive here, the one which I shown there as a whole. Okay. Now next thing is, in this case, you can see your active surface is this only. So I'm writing here CA, and everywhere here is CD, right? So you can see your active amount of catalyst is decreasing. Active amount of catalyst is decreasing. Now, based on this, could you please tell what should be the answer for this 63 question? Irreversible, zero order reaction is given. Irreversible, zero order reaction is given. A gives B. It takes place in porous catalyst, and that has been sealed at both the ends. This is your porous catalyst, sealed at both the ends. Then assume dilute concentration and neglect the variation in axial direction. So which one is axial direction? This, right? Axial direction is this. So here there is no variation of concentration, it is saying. And there is just change in this side. Means radially there is changing. So I'm writing no change in concentration in axial direction. Okay. And there will be change in catalyst active surface in radial direction. That means this direction only. As I am saying, it is as R is equal to 0. So as I move here, there will be change. Then steady state concentration profile is given. CA divided by CS is equal to 1 plus phi naught square divided by 4 R square by R minus 1. Similar to your velocity profile. And value of phi naught is given 4. And you need to calculate what is the range of R where CA is 0. CA is 0, and you need to find range of R. How can you calculate? As I explained in previous, suppose this is your catalyst. This surface is exposed to your reactant. So what it will do? It will try to consume it. Okay, instead of I'm telling active non-active area, I'm just telling this area it will consume first. And as reaction progress, it will start to consume. It will consume this whole area. It will move here. Again, it will move here. Again, it will move here. As it moves inside, so this is your deactivated area, and this is your activated area. And here A is your reactant. You need to find out the range of R. R is starting from here. R, and this is your Z. In Z direction, there is no variation. R direction, there is change. So you can say here A is there and A is penetrating inside. Okay, you need to find out the range where concentration of A will be 0. Or you can consider, मैंने जब बोला था, right? You have catalyst. This is your reactant. It is diffusing inside. So as I move inside, there will be decrease in concentration of A. Are you guys clear with this? Second one, as I move inside, there will be decrease in concentration of A, right? And you need to find out what is the value of this distance. What is this distance where CA is equal to 0? Very easy question. Formula is also given. You need to find out R where CA is 0.
Root 3 by 4 into R.
How did you calculate?
Just CA is equal to
Keeping
0.
CA equals to 0.
Right? That means, see, there is penetration of reactant into the catalyst. As I move inside the catalyst, there will be decrease in concentration, and at some point there will be concentration is equal to 0. Okay, so here you could see up to this layer it has penetrated this layer, and here it is not penetrating. So here everywhere concentration will be 0. So you can write from 0 to this length, there will be 0 to this blue one, there is concentration CA is equal to 0. You just substitute there and you'll get R. So you'll find that R, that is root 3R by 4. Okay, so this is what your extreme value, and your starting value will be 0 from center. So you'll be having this range where concentration of A will be 0. I hope everyone is clear with this. Okay, then one last question we can take. Should we complete this or we continue in next class?
So we can complete this in this class only. Okay.
Okay, so then your heterogeneous will be over, right?
Yes, sir.
Next question. Okay, so you take GATE 2006 question. I'll take just 2 questions because that will be the 3 question, last 3 question that I uploaded in group. Okay, GATE 2006. You have 2 reaction. You just write. You just read that. Okay, A plus B giving you gaseous product. Gaseous product using K1, and A plus C is giving you ash. Right. So you can say this one is your desired reaction. Okay, so A is your gas, A is gas, B and C are catalyst. B and C are catalyst. Okay, so you can see in one case when this gas is reacting with B, there is formation of product, and if it is reacting with C, there is formation of ash. Maybe you can say this is your catalyst. In catalyst, there is some inert is there, so your catalyst is not pure, and A is reacting with this catalyst. So when it reacts with inert, there is formation of ash, and when it reacts with catalyst, there is formation of gaseous product. And it's mentioned ash is not leaving your C. Ash is not leaving your catalyst. Okay, so can you please tell if K1 and K2 are equal at all temperature, what is relation between T1 and T2? If T1 is a time for this first wait, T1 is a time for, is it mentioned? T1 and T2. I'll check. T1 and T2 are the times. Okay, see. So T1 is a time for A to complete consume particles of A and B respectively. So T1 is for B. Wait. T1 is for your B and T2 is for this. Okay. time required to complete the conversion, you can say, for XA is equal to 100% or time is given. So which one will be faster? It is obvious. In one case there is formation of ash, so there is mass transfer resistance, and in one case there is no formation of ash, so there is no mass transfer resistance. So based on that, you can tell me which one is faster.
First one is faster.
First reaction.
Right? So first reaction is faster. First is faster. That means time required for one is lower as compared to time two. So this is your relation. Now choose the option among given. So everywhere it is given at high temperature. Okay. So you can have this T1 less than T2 at high temperature. By the way, there is no effect of temperature, right? Because it is given K1 and K2 is not changing with respect to time, with respect to temperature. That's why you will be having this. Even if it is telling T1 is less than T2 at low temperature, that will also be fine. Just you need to check this time. Okay. So this was asked. Then GATE 2005, match the pair. Porous catalyst, you tell me. Okay, I'm not explaining this. Parallel reaction. Then non-ideal tubular reactor. And last one is gas solid non-catalytic reaction. This we have not covered. Gas solid non-catalytic reaction. Got the question?
Yes, sir.
You just tell me which is that option, which is the correct option and why. Okay. Start.
So
Kaushik.
por
Yes.
porous catalyst, Thiele modulus.
Okay, so we covered this, right? Thiele modulus.
The parallel reaction selectivity.
Parallel reaction selectivity. Because I told you whenever there is parallel reaction, there will be either yield or selectivity.
For non-tubular reactor, dispersion number, sir.
Dispersion number.
Dispersion number. I told you in case of Tankin series model as well as in dispersion number model, we are just considering that as a single quantity, right? Then this gas solid catalytic non-catalytic reaction. So it is shrinking over model because see, I have not covered this topic, but I am telling the one which I told here. See, as I am doing the reaction, there will be decrease in the active surface area. So what can I tell here? See, as the reaction is proceeding, your active surface becomes narrower. So can I tell it as shrinking core? My core is continuously shrinking. Catalyst core is, see here, first core is high or core has a size higher, and this core is continuously shrinking, right? So this is the brief overview, you can say, of shrinking core model. Okay, whenever there is decrease in active surface area of catalyst as the reaction process, that model is called shrinking core model. It has been modeled, you can find that. Okay, so that is shrinking core model. Gas solid reactions, even it is saying catalyst non-catalytic, but there is involvement of solid. Okay, and this solid is consuming in the reaction. So will the core of that solid will decrease? It will shrink or not?
Yes, sir. It will.
Yes, sir.
decrease.
It will shrink, right? I told you in terms of catalyst, you can consider in case of gas solid reaction, where you will be having solid and this gas is reacting with that solid. So your solid core size will shrink. So that is shrinking core model. Then last question is, okay, GATE 2007 packed bed reactor. Packed bed reactor. you have been given first order reaction FOR, then 9 mm pellets were used, 9 mm pellets were used, and strong pore diffusion resistance regime. If I'm using 18 mm, then what is conversion? If conversion in case of 9 mm is 63.2. See, it is given packed bed reactor, so you need to use that formula. It is not asked to find out conversion. No, it is not asked to find out rate, right? Suppose it is asked to find out rate, then you can directly tell, because in strong pore diffusion resistance regime, rate is inversely proportional to size of catalyst. Now, are you getting this question? See how people, how they try to confuse you, because they will directly tell strong pore diffusion and they are asking for conversion, not for rate. So people, what student will do, they will directly calculate, because rate 1 divided by rate 2 is what? D2 by D1. So they will directly do 18 by 9 is equal to 2. Okay, but it has been not asked for your rate, they are asking your conversion. So in that case, you need to follow packed bed reactor ka formula. What was that? W divided by Fa naught is equals to integration 0 to xa dxa divided by minus Ra this. And I'm writing it as 1 for 9 mm catalyst. You just substitute value here. What is rate? K into Ca naught 1 minus of Xa. These are simple questions, just you need to modify your procedure only. So if you integrate this, you will find W divided by Fa naught K dash Ca naught is equals to, can anyone find? Integrate it.
ln minus ln of 1 minus x.
1 minus of Xa. You just take ratio for two quantities. Okay, and here you can see this is your rate 1. Rate 1, okay, and you know rate 1 upon rate 2 is this value, so you need to change accordingly. So your rate, so can I consider this whole value as rate 1? Rate 1, just because here it is divided by 2 multiplied by 2, some rate 1 for catalyst 1. So if I'm considering this as a rate 1, so you know the formula, rate 2 upon rate 1 is equals to 18 by 9, right? So your rate 2 will be equal to 2 times of rate 1 for time being. So you'll be having 2 into WKCA naught divided by Fa naught. Now you can easily calculate what is your rate 2. The next step is, what is your rate 2? This is equivalent to this only, but here two values, minus ln 1 minus Xa 1 in first case, minus 1 this ln 1 minus of Xa 2 in second case. So for first case, what is this whole rate 1? Pseudo rate 1 you can say. Just substitute Xa there.
0.99.
Right? Are you getting this? What about others?
Yes, sir. Same, sir.
Right? 0.99 is equal to rate 2. And what is rate 2? Minus ln 1 minus of Xa 2. And your aim is to find out Xa2.
0.39, sir.
0.39 is there in option?
Yes, sir, 0.39.
Okay, 0.39. So this is your Xa2. Now, what is the new thing which are learning here? Or suppose instead of first order reaction, I am telling you that is second order reaction carried out in same manner. Please read the words carefully what I have written here. Instead of first order reaction, I am telling you second order reaction. This may ask in your semester exam.
Sir, then K CA naught whole square into 1 minus XA whole square we want to write, sir.
Whole square, right? So rate will change. Have you heard about falsified kinetics?
Yes, sir.
So whether where it was, is it in strong pour or weak pour?
Strong pour.
Strong pour. And why I have not changed here? Because for first order reaction, there is no change in order, right? There is no falsified kinetics. So that formula was N observed is equal to N true plus 1 by 2, right? This we proved. So for first order
Yes, sir.
reaction, it is as it is. But for second order reaction, what is that? If N true is equal to 2, then your N observed will be
1.5.
1.5. So what you have to do here is rate is this and to the power, is it 2 or 1.5?
1.5, sir.
1.5.
It is 1.5. Please be careful while writing strong pour diffusion because there is falsified kinetics, right? So this is about your heterogeneous catalyst. I have cleared everything. If you are not remembering, then please revise this, okay? Because suppose if I am telling you, you are understanding everything, right? The thing that is needed is you need to revise the syllabus, okay? And everything will be from this topic only. They will just rotate. Concept will be same. Question will be changed, right? So please revise the syllabus. Again, I am requesting. And for those who are new to the class, okay, what I'll do is I'll suggest to go for previous videos, then you will understand better. And sorry, I have not uploaded this heterogeneous videos, and I'm planning to upload. I'll upload by tomorrow, okay? So you can find that, and combining this syllabus, you can prepare for semester exam, you can prepare for GATE exams. And I'll strongly recommend you to solve questions from Octave Levenspiel, and that will be sufficient. That will be more than enough to have good score in whichever field you go. Okay. So thank you for connecting. It's been 2 hours now. Thanks a lot. Okay. We'll meet in tomorrow's class. We'll start with a small topic that is adsorption, and then we'll go for deactivation of catalyst. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.